Yeah, the given topic to me is descriptive and inferential statistics. Actually, before entering into actual picture of statistics and all, the previous resource person already discussed about something which is related to analysis and how to use software for analysis and all. And my topic is just beginning of the particular analysis or maybe data collection like that. Okay, it is not much difficult for you. And when it is social sciences, we are not much that serious about numbers, and we scared about the numbers also sometimes. Okay, don't scare about the numbers or digits. It is only a information or maybe a particular result you are describing with the help of that number only. Okay, for example, if it is a public administration or any other history or other social science subject, they may use less statistics. But whereas in the case of economics and education or psychology, like that discipline, they will use more. Whenever it is a theory or a pure research or maybe applied research, you will use these statistics very thoroughly or in depth, then only you can develop the theory in pure research. When it is applied research, if you use the research, you can test or you can modify the existing theory, or you can contribute some knowledge to the existing theory. That's why this statistics is very essential for verification or revalidation purpose. Okay, don't think these numbers give some difficulty like that. Okay, I will give only brief introduction about the numbers and all. And moreover, whenever you are conducting any research, the three more important characteristics we have to follow. One is logical consistency. Please note down that points are not available in my PPT. Logical consistency. The second one is empirical adequacy. The three important characteristics in your research is, one is logical consistency, second one is empirical adequacy, third one is experiential relevance. Experiential relevance. These are the three important aspects you have to ensure in your research work, or maybe whenever you are framing any topic also. Okay, logical consistency means when you collect any data or when you are framing any theories or when you are preparing introduction chapter, there should be a interconnectivity between the concepts or maybe interconnection between theories which you are going to write in introduction. In that way, you can develop your introduction chapter. That is a logical consistency. If logical consistency missed in your introduction or maybe anywhere, you cannot interpret the result properly. Even for review of related literature. Let me ask one question. When Sir is selecting all the participants for this program, I am there. Okay. I know, that's why I am not inquiring about your discipline and all. What is the exactly difference between mathematics and statistics? Is there any difference between mathematics and statistics? Anyone please? Mathematics and statistics. There is no much difference, na? Or is there any difference? If you understood this small concept, okay, then you can proceed further about your research work. Mathematics is always determined. Please. Mathematics is always determined. If you do 1 plus 3, here also 4, and in Delhi also 1 plus 3 is 4. In America also 1 plus 3 is 4. It is always determined. Whereas in the case of statistics is probability. That's why we are using level of significance 5% in our social sciences, or maybe in sciences like agriculture or maybe medicine, like they will take very less level of significance. That means 1% in science like physics and chemistry. Whereas in the case of medical sciences, they will take the level of significance is 0.000 point something. When they prepared any drug, when they want to try for clinical trials, if the drug is properly worked, then the error is very less, that is 0.000 something. When it is error is more, means it is not efficient drug. Okay, when they are preparing for COVID vaccine, if it is like 5% error in social sciences, that means out of 100 patients, 5% will die. It is a huge failure in medicine. Okay, that's why they will take very precise drug only. So the difference between mathematics and this statistics is determination and probability. That's why we will consider 5% error, even if it is taking the sample this much size, and we have 5% error. So you can consider like that in social sciences. And one more thing, we are testing at 0.05 level, or maybe like that we are saying. Okay, let me ask, what is the confidence level and what is the significance level? Is there any difference between these two terms, or both are same? Confidence level and significance level. We use 0.05 level or maybe 0.01 level, like that. Am I right? We are testing the hypothesis. Anyone, please? You know very well. Already you did your coursework, everything, and you learned something at your PG level. Level of confidence and level of significance. Out of 100%, level of confidence means 90% we are sure. Am I right? 90% our research is correct. And level of significance means error rate or error percentage is 5%. Then if you convert that percentage into a number, then it is 0.05 level. Okay, the significance level is error value, and the confidence level is your accuracy level or percentage. That is the difference between level of significance and level of confidence. Okay, then let me go quickly about my presentation, which is yeah, and it is a statistics. What do you mean by statistics? Anyone? Can you give any of your understanding? You studied something at your 10th grade level also, that statistics. I given the difference between mathematics and statistics. It is not a like rocket science. It is just like if you know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all these small things, you are good enough in statistics. And moreover, one proverb is there, lies, damn lies, like that. Statistics, if you want to use in a wrong way, you can use it, your data. And if you want to conduct research in an ethical way and appropriate way, you can use it also. Why? Because if someone cook, we can eat. Our mom or maybe someone cook, if they prepare any dish, we can eat. But whereas in the case of analysis, if someone analyze your data, you cannot digest what exactly the meaning, in what way you can interpret that data. You don't know. If you learn something, how to interpret, how to analyze, then only according to your objectives, according to your requirement, you can make the analysis and you can draw the good conclusion and you can interpret in a good way. That's why a minimum basic knowledge about the statistics is very essential. What do you mean by statistics? Or for example, you have seen or maybe you heard about the two words. One is population and another one is sample. Along with this, another one is parameter, another one is statistic. Okay, parameter is what, statistic is what, population is what, and sample is what. That is all about statistics. Okay, so always statistics means it is collecting data, or maybe classifying data, or maybe summarizing data, organizing data, or maybe analyzing data. This is all about statistics. When you are collecting data, you will use different tools, or maybe even when you are writing your review of related literature also, it is indirectly giving some data of previous researches. Let me ask, is there any difference between review of related literature and review of related studies? Review of related literature and review of related studies. Both are same, or is there any difference between these two? Review of related literature and review of related studies. In that review of related literature or maybe review of related studies, you have some data, but it is in the form of one paragraph or maybe words. When it is a quantitative research, you are collecting data from the respondent or maybe subjects or maybe any person or maybe from the field with the help of questionnaires or maybe interview schedule or maybe focus group discussion, like that you are collecting the data. When you are interpreting, when you are writing result, you are making that all the numbers or maybe digits into in the form of a particular paragraph or maybe result. In the same manner, when you are reviewing the related literature or maybe related studies, it is only findings. That findings is derived from the numbers or maybe from the field. Am I right? Digits, numerics. So how you will interpret that data or maybe previous result with your present data? That will be helpful when you are interpreting your own result or maybe data with the help of previous studies or maybe previous literature and along with this particular statistics. Okay, that's why there is a triangulation process we will follow in your research, or maybe whenever you conduct any research for data collection or for methods, for anything. When you distribute some questionnaires, when they fill up and when they will give, there is no authenticity of that matter, that response. You have to cross check. When you go for the field for the collection of the data, when you distribute the questionnaires and without reading, if they put the tick mark like this, or maybe instead of which person you want the information, if they give for some other relatives or maybe brother or maybe sister, they will give their answers. In that case, how you will say this is the opinion of 10th class students regarding the science education, or maybe it is the opinion of particular rural people about SM socio-economic status, or maybe like attitude towards ICT of women, or maybe work family life balance. We cannot say like that. We require some cross checks, or maybe like is it a reliable information, or is it worthful information, or is it credible information. In that case, we require some cross checks, that is called triangulation. Have you heard about the triangulation? So triangulation means in terms of data collection or in terms of methods also you can use the triangulation. In that way you can cross check what exactly the respondents is given the information really can we observe in the field, or from the parents can we cross check, and then only we can say that is the reliable information. If you use questionnaire along with interview schedule, or maybe along with this interview schedule and questionnaire and one more focus group discussion, observation. If you use more techniques like that, you can cross check. That is credibility of the data. In that way you can cross it, that is called triangulation. If you use only quantitative method or maybe qualitative method, only one method, it won't give you again a good result or a credible result. If you use mixed method, qualitative and quantitative as well, then only you will get credible information or maybe data output or maybe result from your research. So nowadays we are using mixed method for data analysis or maybe mixed method for model research or maybe triangulation of the researcher also. One researcher, if he collects two different seasons the data, then it will yield different type of data. In summer season if you collect, that's why in sciences they will rigorously follow the ethical committee and they will apply for ethical consideration. But we will give only at the beginning of the questionnaire informed consent. I am participating in this particular research. I will give my own information or maybe genuine information. Then there is a signature of the particular respondent. We will give like that. But we are never bothered about that ethical consideration. When we use this ethical consideration, then only we will get all these reliable data and credible data. Then only if you analyze, you can draw some good conclusion and you can give some suggestion to solve that problem. Okay, this is all about statistics, summarization, collection of the data, or maybe interpreting, analyzing like that data. Okay, then this is a parameter. Parameter is related to population, and whereas in the case of statistic is related to sample. If it is population means census, or in our particular classroom, now you are all population in this research methodology workshop, that is 30. Out of 30, if we select only 10 or 5 students, then it is called sample. When it is a sample, we will use statistic, and when it is a sample, we cannot generalize the samples respondent. This is all for 30 or maybe 100 students like that. So when there is a descriptive statistics, when we are using that descriptive statistics only helpful to give some description or maybe summary or maybe conclusion about the sample. And whereas when it is inferential statistics, that is meant for testing the hypothesis or maybe to draw conclusion about the population, the whole population. For example, in Mizoram, 10 class students or maybe 8 class students. If you collect only from Lungklai district, only 100 students, from that 100 student you cannot draw the generalization or maybe you cannot draw the conclusion about the whole Mizoram state 10 plus students. Okay, only if you use descriptive statistics, that is also makes you about mean, median or maybe mode. Again, mean, we have different means are there. In our social sciences research we are not using, but whereas in the case of economics and commerce they will use, that is geometric mean and harmonic mean. Whereas in the case of mean we will take linear. Linear means, for example, serial numbers 1 to 10, it is a linearly difference between 1 and 2 digit, one number is there. Okay, let me ask in between number 2 and number 3, how many numbers we can accommodate? In between number 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, how many numbers we can accommodate, we can place? Between 2 and 3, between 4 and 5, any number. 1. Any other answer?
Infinite.
Infinite is correct answer. Why? Because if it is 2, okay, 2.001, 2.002, 2.003, 2.004. In a infinite number we can place it. On the basis of that we can say if it is only one number, two number, third number, like that, it is called categorical data. When it is a continuous series, then it is called continuous data. So the data is two types again while collecting like this. When it is continuous data, there is a more chances, more probability of giving generalization. When it is a discrete data, there is a less chance. Categorical data means discrete data. If it is a number of books, number of books is only in this class maybe 10, 20, 30, like a fixed number, round figure number, am I right? Then number of persons in the particular class is 30 or maybe 40. There is no 1.5, there is no 1.2, okay, there is no meaning. Of average of the persons in the classroom is 2.5 or maybe 20.5, like that. So if it is like that, that is called categorical data. If it is categorical data, the generalization is and credibility of the data is less. Number of male and female, or maybe rural and urban, there is a frequency only, count, am I right? If it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or maybe 10, it is always frequency only, number. When it is continuous data means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. If it is a marks or maybe academic achievement of a 8th class student, if maybe there is a chance of getting 10.5 marks also, 10.25 marks also on the basis of assessment. If a short answer question means, or maybe multiple choice question carries only 0.25 or maybe any negative marking, you all appeared for NTA exam, net exam. In GATE exam or maybe in ICAR exam, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, there is a negative marks. In your net exam, there is no negative marking. Am I right? In that case, there is that marks is a continuous series, continuous data. There is a chance of getting 20.25 also, 20.21 also, like that. And the 1/3 negative mark when it is one question goes wrong, or maybe sometime there is a 0.25 marks also. So when it is a continuous data, there is a more credibility, and you can give more generalization for the whole population. That is all about parameter statistic. Here I given the description about this population and parameter and sample and statistics. And again here in parameter or maybe population, for example, AIDS patient. Your work is mental health of AIDS patients' family members. So in that case, only 2 or 3 persons we will use a different sampling technique and we will collect the data. And in your particular health data sets is showing that in Mizoram Aizawl city only 20 students or maybe 20 persons are AIDS patients. You included all 20 in your research. Then what type of research we call it is, if we include all the AIDS patients in your research. In your survey or any other research, we are collecting only few samples. Okay. If you included all 20 students or maybe 20 persons in your research, what type of research we call? Census research. So census research means when you include all type of particular population in your research, then it is called census research. Okay. So my here given topic is only like descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Here the variables or maybe data, it is again also on the basis of the variable. If only one variable is there, then if you are analyzing the data, it is called univariate. Okay, if there is a two variables are there, that is called bivariate. For example, if it is a work-family balance of women in rural area, or if it is a study habits and academic achievement of the rural students. There is a two variables. If you are conducting only job satisfaction of women teachers, or if you are conducting service quality and job satisfaction, or maybe service quality and student satisfaction, for example in higher education. Okay, this type of variables when we include it, that is called bivariate. If it is only one variable, it is called univariate. If it is more variables are there in your research with demographic variables. Demographic variables means gender, okay, and maybe locality, rural and urban, semi-urban. If you include all the variables and you have so much of data, when you want to analyze like that type of more variables, that is called multivariate techniques. Already sir discussed something about all these variables, technique and analysis. Am I right? If you use only one variable and if it is a descriptive statistics, mean is sufficient. Mean is sufficient. And after completion of this lecture, you will decide yourself which statistical technique is appropriate for my research. And also you have to consider your objectives. On the basis of your objectives, you can decide your statistical analysis. If your objectives is not demanding, if you use structural equation model, SEM. Actually, structural equation model is rewriting the theory, or maybe preparing a new theory, or maybe adding a new variables, or maybe new things in the old existing theory. We will go for structural equation modeling. If it is a correlation, simple correlation means two variables is required. One is dependent or another one is independent, like that. For example, if it is service quality and satisfaction, actually the service quality or maybe quality, how can we define quality or service quality? Anything. Simplest way, quality, a standard, am I right? Or excellence, a benchmark. For example, Adidas or maybe LG, Samsung, or any like type of products, there is a one benchmark. If they cross that benchmark, then we can say there is a quality. In terms of management, or maybe in terms of higher education, just simply we can say perception, expectation minus perception equal to quality. You are expecting so many things from me in this class, okay, but you are perceiving less. I am unable to deliver my service properly. Then your quality of the service, or maybe your satisfaction is less. If my service delivery, or maybe your expectation is low, and my service is good, and your perception is more about my service, then automatically your satisfaction is more. Alright? That means service quality means that is expectation minus perception. If expectation and perception is equal, then good quality. Okay. So here, like that, when you are collecting data, there is a two types of data are available. One is qualitative data and quantitative data. If it in terms of variable, one is a qualitative variable, another one is quantitative variable. Qualitative variable means it is non-numeric all the time. If it is quantitative means numeric. And here qualitative variable also called attribute. In psychological terms we call attribute. For example, if it is good, sweet, or maybe number of characteristics, qualities, all these things are called non-numeric. That means only frequency, even gender also we can say that is qualitative variable, or maybe data. Male, female, or maybe third gender also you can add. In that case, we can call it as a categorical data also. Okay. If it is a variable, then we can call it as a quantitative variable or qualitative variable. And let me ask, what is your understanding about variable? How can we define variable? Variable. You can give any example, and there is no specific definition, okay? And why? Because when you want to use a particular term as a operational definition in your research, you should know which one is independent variable and which one is dependent variable. That's why we are writing in synopsis or maybe research operational definition. In operational definition, without knowing age, gender, or maybe level of class, or maybe something we will write. But the meaning of operational definition is different, and writing about the adult or maybe secondary school students or maybe rural, it is different. Okay, what you understood about this operational definition and variable? You can observe and you can give any example in day-to-day life also. Here AC is working and fan is there. If you move the regulator 1 to 2, you are making that fan to move speed. Okay, according to your operation, then that fan is moving. If you increase the temperature of a particular remote control or maybe decrease, according to that, that will vary. Am I right? The temperature. If anyone can vary according to the interest of the researcher, that thing is called variable. According to you.
Like weather change जो होता है, it happens because of seasons. Seasons are variables, factors affecting weather.
If anything is controlled by the researcher, if you could able to change the effect, this season is in agriculture. Yeah, I am giving some agriculture also example. Why? Because I am giving some guidance to agriculture students also, those who are working in vegetable science like that. When they want to see the yield crop and giving like some fertilizers or maybe pesticides. These pesticides are maybe like cow dung or maybe if it is a like organic farming, then amount of giving the fertilizers, amount of giving the temperature in greenhouse, it is all varies. It's yielding, crop yielding. That is called temperature. On the basis of your research issue, you can define that variables. Okay. If it is like in service quality and student satisfaction about higher education in Mizoram or maybe universities, in that case this environment or maybe temperature or maybe cold weather, it won't affect, right? It is not a variable here. And moreover, if you use that type of variable in your objective, then you can define it and you can use operationally. In Northeast, all the universities they have holidays during winter season, and in plain India they don't have holidays during winter season. Only in summer season they have. Is there any impact of these seasonal changes or maybe academic changes on the students' performance? If you want to see that changes, that's why. In the sciences, when they are collecting data, they are very specific, even for season also. We are not that much particular in social sciences. We will go and distribute. The question is for one school or one group, maybe early morning, and another group of people we will go in rainy season, and another people, if it is not convenient, we will send someone. There is some always human beings are dynamic. From morning to evening, if you sit in this classroom without AC or without proper ventilation, your moods will swing. Am I right? You cannot concentrate. You cannot respond properly. And moreover, when I give the same questionnaire, maybe after 1 week also, your response will be changed. So how can we say this is all true or genuine response of the particular students? Whenever I conduct the same research or maybe interview or maybe survey, I will get the same result. I cannot say, na? So in the same manner, if you are collecting the data, you have to follow a particular pattern. Even when you are collecting the data, only some students if you keep inside and if you ask them to fill, and if you call them out 1 or 2%, and if you ask them to fill outside, then the ambience is changing. They feel, oh, sir is going to give any punishment or something if I did wrong. While filling the this questionnaire, they may feel that, and indirectly it will impact that ambience or maybe environment. So we have to follow all the criteria while collecting the data for all the respondents in a same manner. That's why in agricultural sciences or maybe in sciences, in laboratory setting, they will follow same pattern or while collecting the data for materials, for mercury or for maybe brass or maybe bronze or maybe like copper wire. When they are collecting data, even zoology department also, when they are conducting any research on rats, they will feed to that rat in a particular day and in a particular time only. And when they are giving water also, they will maintain routine. It is not like whenever you feel hungry you will eat not like as a human being. So when they give like that specific diet and specific water particular time, then the result or maybe data collection is good or maybe accurate. Otherwise, if you collect some data from some respondents on morning and some respondents from evening time, night time, or maybe if you send someone through mail, if they fill or if they don't fill, or maybe someone fill instead of the actual respondent, then there is something error in your data. Okay, so in that way, that variable we can say it depends upon your objectives and operational definition. Okay, then this is all about data, qualitative data, quantitative data, and discrete and continuous data. What I given only numbers or maybe specific number, round figure number, always called discrete. Okay, male, female, rural, urban, 20 rural, or maybe 10 urban, or maybe semi-urban is called discrete. And when it is a continuous number, that is called continuous data. And again, data is two types, you know. That's why I asked you the question, review of related literature. Review of related literature is itself a secondary data. Okay, don't think it is only previous findings. It is indirectly secondary data. If your result is coinciding with previous result, then you can give support. The previous researchers got the same result, my result also got the same result, and if the same research conducted in America or maybe in Delhi or maybe in Hyderabad, you will get the same result. You can draw the conclusion like that for generalization. If it is contradictory with the previous result, okay, that is called interpretation. For that purpose only we are writing review of related literature. Let me go back. I ask you, I pose you one question between review of related literature and review of related studies. Review of related literature and review of related. Now, if you know something, then only you can improve your research quality. Otherwise, if you don't learn, or maybe if I don't share, then you will continue the same. One day or another day you will be in this side. Okay, now you are on that side. One day or another day you will be this side. If you don't learn, how you will transact? That's why I used to tell my students in my class, the aim of education is transfer of knowledge from old generation to new generation. Not only transfer of knowledge, acquiring new knowledge. Not only acquiring new knowledge, creating new knowledge. You have some knowledge, I am sharing my knowledge. With this old knowledge and my sharing knowledge, you can create new knowledge. Not only creating new knowledge, acquiring new knowledge and preserving indigenous knowledge is aim of education. That is my definition about aim of education. Your Mizoram culture, or maybe like any other indigenous knowledge or maybe culture, if you want to preserve, you have to transfer from your generation to next generation, right? So that is the aim of education. Like that, if you don't learn, how you will transfer that knowledge to another generation? So that's why review of related literature is broad area. Review of related studies is a narrow area. Narrow means when you are referring only MPhil dissertation works, or maybe PhD dissertation works, or maybe only published journal articles, that is called review of related studies. When it is review of related literature means it is broad. Broad means there is some like this research methodology brochure is there, or maybe when you attend any seminar, international or national, there is a conference proceedings are there. They will also present some papers, empirical studies, and when you are reading a old textbook means they are all conducting the research in a pure research, or maybe in the area of pure science, or maybe pure research. Ours is always applied research. We are testing the theories, or maybe we are testing whether the previous knowledge is true or false. In that way we are testing only boys and girls, or maybe rural urban, or maybe like economy, SBI, or maybe like their annual report, PNB, Punjab National Bank. If it is economics, or maybe commerce people, they will compare for 5 years growth of PNB, Punjab National Bank, and maybe in olden 5 years back, what is the share value of particular PNB, or maybe particular Reliance. They will compare all 5 years, and they will come to the conclusion, is it in profit or is it in loss. They will decide like that. So my intention here is when they publish like that type of any manuals, or maybe like brochures, or maybe paper clippings, paper news, okay, if it is authenticity, if the particular news is authentic, then you can include all the things in your review of related literature. That is called broad. If old textbook means any, for example, if it is emotional intelligence, or maybe intelligence, the previous theories proposed by, or maybe theories of learning by psychologists, they did how learning will take place. They proposed some theories and they conducted very rigorous work, and they prepared some theory also. When you referring like that type of original works, you can include not only a particular study from journal. You can use textbooks also, you can use brochures also, you can use newspaper clippings also. If you include all these type of things, unpublished papers also, when I am giving lecture like this, if you found some important bullet point or something which is related to your topic, you can refer this one also in review of related literature. That means it is a broad review of related literature. In that review of related literature, you have findings also. That findings, if you interpret with your own findings, then the authenticity or credibility of your research work will goes up.
So in review of related studies, there is no study of secondary data, like as you said.
That is always secondary data. That means previous MPhil dissertation, or maybe PhD, or maybe from journal articles. If you
studies also, like in review of related studies,
There is also study of secondary data.
You can include all these things. But data, if you include secondary data means without analyzing, without drawing specific conclusion which is related to your objective, it is useless. If the data set is available of particular financial year of the particular PNB or maybe for SBI, if they don't analyze and this is a rural area and this is the urban area, or maybe the maybe saving accounts this much and we given this dividend or maybe interest rate. In general, in banks they will give interest on the basis of quarterly, but for like central government employees or maybe like teachers and others, they will get only DA hike after 6 months. So every three months, even post office also they will increase that interest rates every 3 months. If they are increasing or decreasing or constantly they are maintaining from first 3 months and next second quarter or maybe 3 quarter, if they analyze, then only you can use that analyzed data in the form of results only, which is related to your objectives. Otherwise it is useless. Data set only, that one. Huh? So that is the difference between review of related literature and review of related studies. Okay. Then the primary data and secondary data means it is like operational definition. I told you. Operational definition means, for example, emotional intelligence or maybe intelligence. Maybe according to you, intelligence means if someone shows excellence in academics, that is intelligence according to you. If someone could able to solve the problems in day-to-day life, and some other researchers' opinion maybe you is able to solve the daily life's problems, that is the operational definition of particular intelligence. So according to you, intelligence means if you could able to manage like conducting like these seminars or maybe without much effort by using some others help, okay, that may be intelligence. So many intelligence are there: numerical intelligence, word fluency, or maybe music intelligence. Okay, like that different types of intelligence are there. When you want to give clear definition how you are going to use that variable in your research, that is called operational definition. On the basis of that operational definition only you will frame the question here. Otherwise, without any direction, you cannot prepare your data tool. Okay, that's why we require operational definition. So, like that, primary data means if you are conducting research and if you go and collect from the original field, then it is called primary data. And what she is asking, if any data set is available, it is published by government or maybe NGO, okay, like Rehabilitation Council of India, or maybe if they given these many disabilities, these many type of 21 disabilities available in India, prevalence, the prevalence rate is this much, like that. If they give some data sets, that is called secondary data. That secondary data you can use without collecting the original data also, and you have to modify and you have to analyze as per your objectives. Then only it is useful. That is called secondary data. Okay, that is the difference, basic difference between primary data and secondary data. The use of statistics means everywhere, knowingly or unknowingly, we are using statistics. When we are booking any flight ticket or maybe train ticket, also we are using. And when we want to book any Amazon, or maybe we want to use any Flipkart, like that, also we are using statistics. But we don't know we are using that statistics. That's why whenever you search anything, automatically you are getting some same related information. How you are getting like that type of advertisement? That means the companies, they will use big data analysis about your searching history. Okay, so this is all about uses of statistics. Um, yeah, this is descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. That means organizing data, summarizing data, simplifying data, and presentation of data is called describing the data. Describing the data means that is only related to sample again. Okay, and whereas in the case of inferential statistics, that is for population, the whole population from the sample. For example, if you collect only 100 or maybe 300 or maybe 200 samples, and from that sample result you can generalize the whole population. Let me ask here, how many of you are conducting survey research or maybe on the basis of sample? Everyone will follow like that. Is there any benchmark? Is there any percentage of selecting the sample? Or as it is according to your convenience or maybe according to your easy collection of the data you are collecting. Sometime when I look into the sample and all, they will write 1000 and maybe 1500 and maybe 600. Is there any benchmark or is there any standard? Huh? Tell me, what is that standard?
As for me, I'm using Taro Yamane formula, sir.
Formula is there. No, they will tell 10% or maybe 5% of the population. But it is not like that. Whenever you are selecting sample, there is no term like minimum and maximum. Only optimum we use. Optimum means, that's why we follow normal probability curve. That statistic, whenever you are using statistics, normal probability, when you collect the optimum, beyond optimum or maybe over optimum also, you will get the same result. For example, if your population is 10,000, out of 10,000 only 380 is enough. With that calculator, all online sample calculators are also available. If you give your population, that's why people also unknowingly they will tell known population, unknown population. That is a wrong term. If you don't know the population, how you will select the sample? It is known number of population, unknown number of population. That is the correct term. Known, unknown is wrong. And also it is finite and infinite population. Finite means if it is 10 plus students in Mizoram, it is 10,000 per year. Maybe any specific number is there. That is finite number. If it is geographical area is very large, like Indian population, we cannot count each and every one. That is infinite population, and it is scattered throughout geographical area. In that case, we will use different statistical techniques or maybe sampling techniques. If it is a finite population, you can use simple random or maybe stratified random or maybe systematic random, like that. If it is again, if you want to go for multi-phase, there is again multi-phase and multi-stage sampling techniques are there. Multi-phase means you will use different type of stages, and in the different stages you will use the same population sample, and from some very few samples you will collect in-depth data or maybe in-depth information. That is called multi-phase. Multi-stage means you will go for different type of samples in each stage. Without clarity, they will write multi-phase, multi-stage or maybe systematic sampling or maybe simple random. They will write like that. That's why I given logical consistency. When you are selecting sample, when you are writing statistical technique, it should be a logical flow. If you give contradicting things about your sample, and when you are using analysis different thing, then it will leads to wrong interpretation or maybe wrong result. Okay, when you are using sampling techniques and all, be careful about your sampling techniques while writing. Maybe you go and give your questionnaire, or maybe distribute your questionnaires haphazardly, or maybe randomly, or maybe conveniently, but when you are writing in the thesis, it should be logical. And for inferential statistics, it is for generalization purpose. On the basis of sample data, we will go for population. And like hypothesis testing and relationship studies, like that. For example, let me go for I think most of the time students will go for inferential statistics. Am I right? That means testing of hypotheses. You will frame some objectives. On the basis of objectives, you will frame some hypotheses. And that hypothesis, if it is categorical data, you will go for another type of inferential statistics. If it is continuous data or maybe discrete data, you will go for another type of inferential statistics. So here in inferential statistics means there is again 4 categories are there of scaling techniques. One is nominal, ordinal, and interval ratio. These 4. Even if it is a nominal, even if it is ordinal, if it is a interval and ratio, we can go for inferential statistics. Only if it is a nominal, or maybe we can call it as a frequencies, then we can go for descriptive statistics. In terms of percentage, in terms of mean, in terms of variation, we will go for descriptive statistics. Okay. If it is a frequency, for example, if there is a 2 variables, one is rural and another one is urban. Okay. And another variable is gender, male, female. One variable is rural and urban, another variable is gender, male and female. Now you are getting 4 categories. Am I right? One is rural male, one is rural female, and another one is urban female, urban male. 4 categories. In that 4 categories, if you collect only rural female is 20 and rural male is 35 and urban female is 50 and urban male is maybe 40, in that case you are using only nominal data, frequencies. Even if it is nominal data or maybe frequency, you can go for inferential statistics. With the help of that only 60-70 samples, you can go for chi-square test of association. Okay, always chi-square test of association or chi-square test is meant for nominal data. Okay, whereas in the case of you have 4 groups, or maybe like rural female, rural male, urban female, like this. Only if you want to find out the difference between 2 groups means, then you can go for t-test. Again, t-test, it is not just simply t-test. If the groups are independent, male is independent and female is independent, 2 are different groups. If there is a correlation, whenever it is a kabaddi team, when you are selecting it at school level, we will match, am I right, one player with another player. In that case, if you have 2 groups, that matching pair, or maybe only one group also, you will use different t-tests. So this is all about for inferential statistics, to draw conclusion or maybe to predict also about the population's trend, difference or whatever it may be. This is all about different descriptive statistics, frequency, that is counts, percentage. Even percentage also, with the help of percentages, you can go for inferential statistics by doing chi-square test. Okay, in rural area, female 20%, in rural area male 30%, and urban area female 25%. Urban area male percentage is 35 or maybe 40. If you have like that type of percentages, also you can go for chi-square test. But whereas it will demand on the basis of your objectives only. Don't mad with statistics. If I use number of tests and number of statistics, it will give or maybe it will improve my quality of thesis. Not like that. Even if it is a qualitative research, even if it is a descriptive research, you can give beautiful description, or maybe you can give beautiful research output with your research procedure or maybe research work. If you follow strictly scientifically all these logical consistency and empirical adequacy, data, enough of data is available, and if you have enough of experience, that means all the field or maybe all the society people having that type of that experience, if you truly represent in your research work or maybe in your thesis writing, then that is called experiential relevance. If you give maybe like Sunita Williams' experience in your research work, it is outlier. Okay, it won't be possible in this society, in normal society, in rural area. If all the people are experiencing, if you give like that type of experiences, that is called experiential relevance. Then only the solution is more apt or more close to the society. Okay, that's why these three things are important: logical consistency, empirical adequacy, experiential relevance. If you give like in psychology, self is three types of selves are there. One is ideal self, second one is real self, third one is social self. These are the three selves we will teach in psychology or educational psychology. Real self means when you are in the home, when you are alone at your drawing room, then you will reveal about yourself, what you are. When you are in the society like these people, if all are going for tea break, if you don't go, if you follow the same thing, that is social self. Ideal self means I want to become like a Jesus Christ. I want to like behave like a Gandhiji. It is not possible all the time. Sometime or another time we will violate. Am I right? So like that, when you are collecting the data, it should be logical, and it should be empirical, and it should be experiential. This is all about descriptive statistics. Okay. Mean, standard deviations also we can use. This is a nominal data. With the help of nominal data, we can describe our research findings. And ordinal data means just like as giving order. Giving order means, for example, singing competition or maybe dancing competition. In that competition, they will use this scale. Okay, they will show like these numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. On the basis of that marks, they will give who is first, who is second, who is third. If they use like that type of scaling technique, that is called ordinal data. We can go for these categories. Maybe like boys, girls, or maybe urban, rural, semi-urban, like that. You can draw some graphs and you can explain, or maybe you can describe the data in the form of percentages also. Okay, and interval and ratio, you know very well. When there is a no absolute zero, that is called interval, and when there is a absolute zero, then it is ratio. Why? Because if it is a like a thermometer or maybe a barometer to measure the pressure, okay, or rainfall or something, they will predict with the help of barometer. That barometer at room temperature or maybe at a normal environment, it will start with 20 or maybe 15 degree or maybe 27, 24, like that. Okay, there is no need of 0 and 1 like that. Even if it is 0 degree centigrade, can we say there is no temperature? So it is on the basis of your variable. Again, you have to use properly that scaling techniques. So when there is no 0, that is interval. When there is absolute 0, that is called ratio. For example, whenever you are collecting academic achievement, academic performance of rural students with mother tongue. Okay, when someone is pursuing their secondary school education with their mother tongue, and when you want to compare the same rural students, another group of students, if they pursuing foreign language other than their mother tongue, is there any impact of language or like that? If you want to find out, then you can collect the data from different languages and then you can compare. In that case, you require 0. That means even in that case also, when I distribute white paper or answer sheet like this, when you return as it is like this white paper only, you will get 0. If you write something about that answer, that within 3 hours if you sit, then you will write something, am I right? You will make white paper into black paper. For that you will never get 0 marks. Maybe fail marks are there, but you will never get 0 marks. So in that case, we require ratio scale. So this is all about the data, interval ratio data. So now the actual concept is descriptive statistics. We can use in 3 ways this descriptive statistics in our research. If it is a qualitative research, one is frequency distribution, second one is graphical representation, the third one is summary statistics. Summary statistics means mean, median, mode, and geometric mean, harmonic mean. Actually in economics and commerce, they will use sometimes geometric mean, but in social sciences like history, public administration, or maybe psychology, or maybe education, we will never go for geometric mean or maybe harmonic mean. Geometric mean means investment and return. If you invest 2 rupees and after 1 year, or maybe if you purchase one bond, or maybe if you purchase a share, after 1 day there is a trading, am I right? If you sell and purchase, what is the investment? That means when the data is collected or measured in the linear scale, that is arithmetic mean. Okay, when you apply that analysis, it is called arithmetic mean, that is linear data. When it is exponential, if you purchase now one unit of bonds or maybe some shares, after 1 hour it may go up or maybe it may go down. When it is like that type of data, if you want to analyze, then we will go for geometric mean, that means exponential. Okay, or maybe fixed deposits, or maybe if it is fixed deposit, earlier if you purchase one national saving scheme certificate, or maybe Kisan Yojana scheme certificate, something is there, your amount is doubled in 5 years earlier. Now it is increased to 9.5 years. That means the interest rate is going down. Okay. So if it is like that type of data exponential manner, then you can go for geometric mean. Okay. So here the frequency distribution, the first one is about the descriptive statistic, that is how many students are there, male, female, percentage, if you want to explain, or maybe SMSC companies, or maybe small scale industries. If you want to give something, okay, that information you can explain in your findings with the help of percentage or maybe frequency, that is like male and female, how many male and how many female. And next one is, here we use only nominal scale. If it is like these 2 type of categories, one is study and another one is male and female, then also we can use like this. For this we can use chi-square test. Okay, and chi-square test is also, there is some limitations or maybe some modifications are there. That means if each cell having more than 5, directly you can use one formula. In each cell means For example, MBA male is 6 students, and MBA female students are 9, and MCA male students are 4, and in MCA female students are 2. Then we have to modify the formula while calculating this chi-square value to reject or accept the hypothesis. When it is more than 5 in each cell, we will go for general formula. Okay, like that t-test also. If the sample size in general in social sciences, the sample which is greater than or equals to 30, we call large sample. If it is less than 30, we used to call small sample. When it is t-test, if the sample size is less than 30, we will call that is t-test. If it is more than 30, we won't call t-test, it is z-test. But in general, they will write, and in common understanding, everyone will know it is a difference between two groups means like that. And even when you are writing in your population or maybe sample, all the time you will write n, that is capital N. Actually, in original statistics, capital N is only meant for population and small n is meant for sample. But we never care about all these things, the small things. Okay, so whenever you are writing your thesis or maybe using like that things, if you learn something, then you can use or maybe you can share that information to others. And even when you are writing your references also, so many times I have seen, we will follow APA style generally, alright? Now we are using 7th APA. In text citation or styletics, reference, bibliography, all endnote, footnote is different. What is your understanding about footnote and endnote? Is there any difference or both are same? Footnote and endnote. Huh? Is it like giving a reference at the bottom? Huh? Footnote. Huh? At the bottom of the page, but in general, I have seen so many theses. They will give number in the running method 1, and they will give only reference. Actually, footnote is not like that. When you observe Bible, if you want give any cross reference or maybe any extra information about the particular word, they will give at the bottom of the page. Okay, that is called footnote. And endnote means if you want more extra information in paragraphs about the particular word or maybe particular phrase, you will attach some more extra information at the end of the chapter or maybe beginning of the next chapter. That is the difference between footnote and endnote. Okay, and reference also, bibliography also. I think you know the difference between bibliography and reference. And whenever you are using page numbers or maybe tables, we are very careless or maybe without knowing we will use like that. According to APA, we should not use vertical lines, and at the end of the table also we should not use. Only top and bottom only line we have to use. And if it is again a heading of the particular thing, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, like that some headings are there. If it is centered, level 1. If it is one tab or maybe if it is starting 1.1, it is level 2. If it is 1.11, it is level 3. Something like that is there. And we are carelessly or maybe without knowing, we use for review of related literature, others name bold. there is a specific thing when you following APA style, you should not use bold, italic as per our convenience. It has its own meaning. Okay, when you are writing others also name, we will write like a reference name, Pramod Kumar, N in bracket, something like that. But when it is a review of related literature, only you have to mention my first name, Pramod in bracket 2020. But in the case of reference or maybe bibliography, you can write Pramod, comma, K, comma, N in bracket like that. There is something difference is there. When it is outside the bracket of the particular two others, we have to spell out and. When it is in the inside the bracket, it should be and symbol. We never bother about all small things. Am I right? When you are following all the APA style, you have to stick on to that. What is it? I may not be able to count. Graphs you can use for the descriptive statistics like this. Again, a bar graph, it is vertical bars and horizontal bars are there. Histogram, then frequency polygon. Okay, on the basis of the data, simply why we are using these graphs, laymen, if they don't know the use of statistics or maybe numbers, we can explain our result with the help of by seeing or maybe looking at the graph. One can understand these many people are male, these many people are female, or maybe the trend of academic achievement, or maybe the trend of population growth is like this. The data one can observe, or maybe inflation, or maybe something money values, or maybe rupee value in economics. If they want to show like this, they can use these graphs. Okay. And this one, this is the two things we will follow in our statistics or maybe in our research. One is normal distribution, that is called NPC. Another one, normal distribution means more sample. More sample means again it is, I told you, it is optimum, not maximum and minimum. Okay, only optimum. Then it will follow simply normal probability distribution. And again, if you collect the data from the sample, not haphazardly, randomly. Randomly means the probability of selecting all the samples having equal chance. Okay, then it is called random. If you follow these two techniques in your sample selection, then automatically you will get the valid or maybe reliable information from the respondents. This is all about normal probability distribution. In between -1 sigma to +1 sigma, half of the means 65 or 68 samples will lies, and below that 2.5 and above that 2.5 like this. Okay, we will use. If your data is optimum, it will follow normal distribution. Otherwise, it will follow irregular shapes, and it will give you maybe wrong results also sometimes. If it doesn't follow normal distribution, then it will get wrong conclusion like that. If you frame like, is there any difference between male and female in their intelligence? If your sample is more male and less female, or just like as in America, whites and blacks, is there any difference between whites and blacks in intelligence? If someone wants to prove blacks are less intelligent, whites are more intelligent, then if they collect only less samples from the black and more samples from the white, then we can prove purposefully. Okay, so it will give like that type of result. That is rectangular, maybe left skewed, or maybe positive, negative skewed like this. Okay, so many other things are there, but I may not be able to complete all these things. So let me stop here. If anyone wants any clarification about all these aspects, I can give.